Hello friends and welcome to my channel. My name is Ria. Today I'm making a delicious pot of curried lamb with potatoes and curried chana and aloo, also known as curried chickpeas with potato. This chana and aloo comes together in less than 30 minutes. So if you're interested in these delicious recipes, let's start cooking. Here are the simple ingredients you'll need for the curried lamb. 3 to 4 tablespoons of curried powder. I mixed 2 types here. 1 tablespoon of achar masala and 1 tablespoon of ground roasted cumin. For a nice variation to our usual curry, I'm adding 1 tablespoon of garam masala and 1 tablespoon of coriander. Both optional. A few sprigs of thyme. You'll also need 12 cloves of garlic, hot pepper to taste, a quarter cup of chopped bandanya, also known as recao, culantro, a half cup of green seasoning, and 1 onion chopped. A little over 1 pound of potatoes peeled and quartered. Finally, you'll need about 4 pounds of lamb. These are lamb chops or bone-in lamb. To prepare the lamb, I'll cut it into small pieces in between the bones. Cut it as large or as small as you like, using a very sharp knife. You'll leave this whole bone as is or use a chopper if you wish to cut it up into a smaller piece. It's very simple. It took me less than 5 minutes to cut the entire amount. The meat is now very clean, soaked in vinegar and water and rinsed. Now I'll season with half of the onion, half of the garlic, half of the culantro, 3/4 of the green seasoning, and the hot pepper, salt and pepper, 1 tablespoon salt, 1 teaspoon of black pepper. We'll mix well to combine. Cover tightly with a plastic wrap or foil and place it in the refrigerator. Marinate for a minimum of 30 minutes or overnight. I'll add some oil to the pot. Now that the oil is hot, I'll add in the onion and the hot pepper. We'll cook it until the edges become brown. I'm lowering the heat to medium. Next I'll add in the curry powder. The coriander and the garam masala. Achar masala and cumin. We'll stir it. I'll add water. I'll stir to mix all those different curry powders. And I'll cook until the water evaporates and the curry is grainy and fragrant. We're allowing the flavors of the curry to develop here. Keep stirring so that it doesn't stick. And clean down the sides of your pot. Smells really good. I'll add in the green seasoning and the garlic just to help flavor that curry. Stir. We're making a very flavorful base. Curry paste, curry slurry. I'm planning to visit my sister tomorrow. All the children, kids are on winter break. So I'm going to surprise them with some curried lamb and paratha roti. They love their Auntie Ria's cooking. So it'll be a very nice surprise. I'm adding a little bit of turmeric powder to brighten up that curry. Just about a half a teaspoon. Cook it for a minute or 2 more and then we'll add the meat in. I'll add in the meat, the lamb, and we'll stir well to combine. Mixing all that delicious curry powder into the lamb. Raising the heat to high because the addition of the lamb decreased the temperature. We want to bring it back up to temperature. Smells amazing. It's going to be very flavorful with the different curry powders and all the lovely fresh seasonings we added. Clean down the sides of your pot. Reduce the heat to low, cover and cook, and we'll allow it to release its juices and cook in its own juices, amplifying the flavor. So we'll give it a couple more minutes and then we'll cover. We'll place the thyme sprigs in. Reduce the heat to low. Set the timer for 40 minutes, please. I decided to make a last minute curry chana and aloo using canned chickpeas. I don't have a recipe for curry canned chickpeas, so I thought you would find this helpful. First thing I'll do is rinse the cans and open them. Drain. Make sure they are very simple ingredients. This contains just organic chickpeas, water and sea salt. Make sure there are no chemicals, additives or preservatives. I'm doing this on a counter so you don't get cut and you have control over the can. You'll drain and rinse. Just give it a good rinse, drain it, and then we'll cook it. It's going to be very simple. It's been about 10 to 15 minutes. Always check your pot every 10 minutes. We'll give it a stir, just to ensure that it's not sticking and that it's releasing its natural juices like it's supposed to. If it doesn't release natural juices, I'd be very concerned about the type of meat that you bought. So give it a stir and then we'll cover it and allow it to continue to cook. And once it's tender, we'll add in the potatoes. This is about a pound of potato, 2 ounces less. Just going to cut it into quarters. I also have 1 onion, half of a hot pepper without the seeds because it's for my niece and nephew and they may not like it spicy, and about, I would say 6 to 8 leaves of bandania chopped and 6 cloves of garlic. I'll add a couple of tablespoons of oil to the pot, about 4. Once the oil is hot, we'll add in the onion and the hot pepper and we'll cook it until the edges become brown. I'll add the curry powder, 2 tablespoons. Add some water. And we'll cook again until the liquid evaporates and the curry is grainy and fragrant. Add some of the green seasoning we used in the curry fish video. If you recall, we made extra, so it comes in handy. And that is optional if you don't have it. Now that the curry has separated from the oil, we'll add in the potato. I cut it a little smaller so that it will cook more quickly. Give it a stir. Oops. I'll reduce the heat to low and cook it for about 5 minutes because the chickpeas are already tender. They're pre-cooked. So we want to give the potatoes a head start before we add in the chickpeas or the chana. Add a little water to prevent it from sticking and we'll allow it to steam more quickly. At any point it starts sticking, just keep adding water. This is 1/4 cup of water. I'll cover again. The lamb's been cooking for about 30 minutes. You can remove these. Once the leaves come off, you can remove the thyme sprigs. And it looks really luxurious, rich and thick. This lamb is a very tender lamb. So that's one of the reasons I did not put it in the instant pot. It cooks very quickly. At this point, taste it and add more salt. You want it to cook in enough salt. Adding the salt at the end will not do it justice. The salt will not penetrate in the meat. So just make sure it's well salted at this point, and I'm using Himalayan salt. And I'm only saying that because if you're using table salt, you will require less. So far we've added about 4 teaspoons. And we need to add enough salt as well for the potatoes. We'll give it a taste. Oh my goodness, really, 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 really good. I love lamb. It's one of my favorite protein. All right, let me do a taste test on the meat. It's tender. I would say it's almost fully cooked. And now is a good time to add in the potatoes. If your lamb is still tough at this point, you continue to cook until it's tender and fully cooked. If you add the potatoes in early, it will just melt and disappear. I know some of you like to see the potatoes in the curries, so if that's what you like, add the potatoes later on. If you want the potatoes just for gravy, you can add it early on in the process. Next, I'll add in the potatoes, stir it in. And I'll cover and cook until the potatoes are tender. Everything is nice and delicious and fully combined. Flavors have melded together in holy matrimony. I'm going to cover now. Looks delicious, smells amazing. There's going to be lots of sauce to scoop up with the paratha. Everyone's gonna love it. The potatoes have been cooking for about 10 minutes. I was busy with the lamb and we're checking for doneness. It appears to be cooked, but still needs some more time to cook. Next, I'll add the Channa. This is about 3 cups if you're cooking from scratch. And I added about 2 tablespoons of green seasoning. We'll mix to combine. Curry Channa does not need a very heavy curry. I'll add in the remainder of the onion, the bandhania, the garlic. Give it a good stir. Looks lovely. Smells amazing. At this point, you should be heating some water. We'll add some hot water to this to help bring it all together. Add salt. You'll have to add depending on how salty your canned Channa was. So I cannot tell you how much to add at this point. I'm adding about 1.5 teaspoons to start with, and then we'll adjust. I'm adding another tablespoon of that seasoning. This seasoning has bandhania, garlic, and pimento pepper. Bandhania, garlic, and pimento pepper. We need to bring some extra flavor into here because we're using canned Channa. Alright, let me get the hot water ready. Reduce the heat to low for the moment. This is about 2 cups of water. Give it a stir, clean down the sides, and then I'll cover. And we'll cook for about 20 to 30 minutes. I'm adding in some thyme. It's been cooking for about 10-15 minutes. I would say another 10 minutes and it should be done. Needs just a little salt. If the potatoes still have sharp edges, it's not done. So the edges here are still a bit sharp. At any point there's not enough liquid, you can certainly add more water, but just adjust the salt. I'm just going to add about 1/2 cup more water, total 2.5 cups, because I know the sauce thickens as it cools. And get your roasted cumin ready. That's going to be a nice finishing touch. It's been cooking for about 70 minutes total. The natural juices have evaporated, and now I'm going to add a little more water just to make some sauce. And always make sure to check your pot every 5 to 7 minutes to ensure that it's not sticking. So it's pretty amazing at this point. As you can see, cook it on low for another 5 to 10 minutes and then it'll be done. Really delicious. I'll just stir in the chopped bandanya and that's it. It's done. Absolutely delicious. So yummy. I hope you enjoy this recipe. That sauce is rich and luxurious, tasty, thick. Absolutely perfect. Stir in ground roasted cumin, and also known as jeera. I've added 1 teaspoon. Give it a stir. The sauce has thickened up nicely. The potatoes are fully cooked. And the channa is just the way it's supposed to be. And that's it. We're done. Absolute perfection. You would love this. I think it cooked in about 25 minutes. Will vary depending on your stove. Take off the stove and you're done. That's it. So simple.